What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Four Dummies. And tonight we are joined with the Four Dummies. We have just one.
Yo, what's happening?
We have Robert Detoff.
Hello.
And recently, someone on TFW said that my wife doesn't add anything, but she actually has a lot to add, hopefully, to this discussion. We have Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
Tonight we're going to talk about the effects that we believe our collecting has on our families and or spouses. Jisk, how do you think that your spending habits, your need for your own little special room affect your family?
Needing the space, I don't think is an issue. I think you could argue that using the money could always be used to something that benefits the family overall better. I think the biggest issue probably is going to be the time spent on like podcasting and like going places and stuff like that. That's probably one thing I think that would like annoy Sarah probably the most out of anything.
Has Skullfest come up in the past couple of weeks
So I'm back from Skullfest after a couple of days, and I think, I don't know, we were texting about some bullshit or something like that, and I was laughing. And she's like, God, why don't you guys just get it over with already? Which made me flip out.
Dude,
So,
I had the same thing here. Like whenever I open up my phone and I smile or laugh, it's like, what's Robert got to say now? What's just joking about now?
With me, it's when I am especially crass. Then Lisa will be like, you're not talking to your podcast friends.
So is it also more of a podcast issue with you than the collecting issue?
Yeah, it's the community and the podcasting. So it'll be like, why don't you talk like that to your podcast friends? I don't ever hear you talking to your podcast friends like that. I'm like,
what do you say to her to make her say to you talk to your podcast friends?
Yeah, like when I'm just fed up and I'm like, stop it. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me.
You do say that. You do say that to podcast friends.
I do. I talk to my friends like that.
So it's funny because it is majorly between the two of you and probably me too at this point, but it wasn't always the case.
Yeah, but this wasn't always the case.
Of course. But like it did seem like when I started this that money was the issue. And now it's not money, it's definitely time.
But why isn't money the issue?
Because I'm covering it with working extra.
Right.
Especially during the ETR days, it was like, all right, 2 hours every Monday. And then like, the chats are blowing up nonstop. So I'm always on my phone. It's just like, look, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I get it.
So we have like, you film a lot of podcasts, and then every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I got this extra podcast I gotta do this week. So like, I mean, he's at a minimum usually 6 hours a week for podcasts. Correct?
More.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. So between our work schedules and 6 hours of podcasting, like the amount of us time is definitely limited. And so when I feel like there's a little bit of time and he's on his phone, it's sort of like the icing on the cake. I'm like, really? Pay attention to me.
Yeah, but sometimes
that's the number one thing, I guarantee it. It's like my wife was already like, I'm gonna put a basket by the door and everyone's gotta put their phones in it.
You know what? I'm up for that, but sometimes it's like if I just have 10 minutes on my phone and catch it all up, then I'm good.
It's pretty common where I'm like hanging out there scrolling on Facebook, and she'll come over and be like, because she's like talking to me and wanting to chat, and I'm just scrolling, and then she'll walk over like, what is so important that
I'm like, what's going on over there? What you got going on?
I'm like, what?
That is
so
great.
like, what do you got going? Who are you talking to? God.
Doing it. I'm like, and then she'll like look in my gallery. I'm like, hey, go take a look. And she's looking at all my photoshopping and my memes. She's like, who are you?
So you're like putting a raw egg on somebody's head, and she's like, why did you do this during dinner?
You better tell Bobby Skullface the truth. You better tell Bobby Skullface the truth. If you don't tell him the truth, then you're gonna clean the whole house.
But I've always been like that, though. That's what's always been an unfair accusation by everyone around me. Like, I have to be doing something like playing a game while I'm also paying attention.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. When
only often you're not paying attention to me.
No, it's not true. It's just that like
you're just not saying anything important. No, that's what he'll say to me.
It's not true.
If you would just say the important things,
well,
and then
it's hard to
say the important things and make it clear that you're saying something important, and then
it's hard. It's hard.
So I don't have to listen to it.
It's hard.
That's what you say to me.
It's hard to decipher it all when it's like
Send
you're
it
talking.
to me in a text if you want me to remember it.
But
Are you fucking serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
I know you are.
Because it's certain things. It's like if I come home from work and she's getting ready to go to work, because sometimes I have to do the night shift, and she's like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to work, and I'm tired, and I got 1,000 things I'm thinking about that I got to get done for the day, and she's like, and make sure that
1,000 podcasting things to do.
make sure that this
In
kid.
case anyone was wondering.
Make sure that this kid has to get the Zumba, and make sure that this one has to, and I'm like,
And that's
so
the
like,
only thing.
So is
Only he throws
No, it's
out
not
the
that.
Zumba.
because sometimes you're like,
That is one night a week.
no, because you're also like and for lunch you have this, and for dinner is you should feed them this, and like I'm like okay, like but like
it's too much information.
well, at once, I think there's certain information that is important to remember, and then there's certain information that you should be able to know where to look it up to remember. I think that's true across the board. So
I have to write everything down and set alarms for myself, or I won't remember anything.
No, that's a very responsible way of doing things, because you don't want to be juggling too many things in your head. If you just use your calendar or your tasks, it's much
everything.
easier.
Then I got to sync it with the Civic, and like it's too much.
Well, if you had a droid, it would do it itself.
Dude, your droid is the Mech Fans Toys of
My
phones.
iPad and my iPhones, they have different hardwares and ports, and they don't sync unless you subscribe to iSync. And then my iSync ain't syncing. I gotta go to the Mac store to fix my syncer. My
Dude, you got
adapter.
that Mech Fans Toys plan.
You know what's funny though? It is 10 times easier for me to ignore a client call than to ignore.
I agree. Let me give you an example. Sometimes I'm in a position where like we're sitting out, we're having a nice evening, we just popped a bottle, we have like some chicken grilling and the whole bit, and then I get a PM from somebody that's like, dude, I'm at the lowest point in my life, and all I care about is what video you're gonna upload this week. And I'm like, dude, I in my head, I'm like, I gotta take this PM. I gotta tell this guy I got plenty coming. Relax, it's gonna be fine.
Or you could have just not looked at it, and he would have known you hadn't seen it yet.
It does feel like a responsibility sometimes. How do you juggle it all? Our issue seems to be mainly on the content creator side.
So here's how I handle it, and this is going to sound rude as shit, but I don't talk to that many people. I limit the amount of people that like I have interactions with, and the rare chance I do get like a random PM, it's very short. I don't leave it open to like, hey, text me in the future. I try to be aware of like, all right, this is probably a situation that's going to require me not to look at my phone until she gets up to get some. No,
Unless she gets up to get some water.
This whole endeavor costs me, but I see the benefit in the cost, because to me, doing something like this sparks joy in my life, and it's frivolous. The rest of the stuff I have to deal with work is extremely serious and stressful, and the balance to that is the frivolity and just doing something childish for me that I find just fun with. But, you know, the responsibilities can be a little heavy at times, you know, and it doesn't seem heavy, but it is when you've got like a million people to answer to otherwise, and stress and stuff. And that's the one downside.
For me, aside from the toys and all that, there is this craving with having 3 kids, and my wife and I kind of work alternate schedules. So like there is this craving for me to just talk to adults, even if it's about kid stuff, like just
not about work.
Right. And that's where it kind of sparked for me, is being home, you know, with the kids. It's like, damn, I just need some adult conversation.
There is something about like doing it with people that can like pour their own orange juice that matters.
Right.
And I don't know how else to verbalize that. I love my kids, don't get me wrong, but like I need a break from them, you know, from time to time. Even if it's talking about like whether it's important that Batman kills or doesn't kill, just having that conversation with adults matters.
Lisa likes the third party. She likes all the stuff I collect. She always appreciates it, you know. That's never an issue. The money's not an issue. You know, she wants me to do something for myself. She wants me to. She always pushes me to do something for myself. It's just the time, though, when it comes to doing a podcast. I'm like, honey, I'm doing the show tonight. It's like without fail, she'll be like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was last week.
Yeah.
You know?
So I know for Sarah, like if she feels like I'm putting as much attention and focus into stuff for the two of us that I am for this, then I think it's okay. But when it's like, look, you devote all this time and all this energy to this, and if it comes time, you know, for us to do something or something as a family, and you're like, I don't give a shit. you know her.
Yeah, if I have her mom over for dinner, and if her mom stays over, I've got a green light for several days.
Well, see, so that's an interesting question. Do you ever feel like you have the same passion for family as you do for this?
It's just different. It's different.
It's different. Let me give you an example of a situation where I recently did in the most bizarre of circumstances. My kid is playing basketball, and I was at her final basketball game, and I was emotionally invested in this game. So, like, I got passionate, but it's like it's almost like there's these weird rules as to where the passion is allowed to be at a 10. I was operating probably at a 7 in regard to that basketball game. Even that was too intense for the environment.
Well, it was just the screaming out a curse word, but other than that, it was fine.
What I'm saying is that's still operating with blinders. Like, it's still operating with try to be good in this environment. So it's very rare to have the opportunity, I feel like, as an adult to have the unleashed passion for something.
Yep.
I think it's hard for a damn near 40-year-old male to cut loose. And this does provide an opportunity to cut loose. I do think that we are in a unique space in regard to the fandom. I don't think that most of the fandom deals with these things. I think most of the fans probably deal with money. You know, it's probably a money issue, and it was a money issue at my house as well. Have you guys ever dealt with the money issue at home?
It doesn't really come up on my end because she doesn't ask, so I don't say anything.
So
when we have the real conversation, don't bring it up. No, I'm just kidding.
So it's just a don't ask, don't tell policy that just goes.
Yeah,
so just do you like manage the money in your house, I guess, is the next question.
I do.
Yeah, so I do as well.
Oh!
So, no, I don't mean that any kind of way.
She's wearing the pants.
I don't mean that any kind of way. I'm just saying, like,
things, expensive pieces that come in, even though I make the money, I'm still like, I've had this on pre-order for a year. Everything's always been, I bought this a year ago.
What do you think your wife believes the most expensive piece in your collection costs?
Oh, I tell her. No, I tell her everything.
All right.
I tell her how much it's worth already. You know, I'm like, oh, look, this SoC Voltron, I paid $600 for it, but it's already $950 online.
Oh, yeah, Bobby loves to tell me that too. Or he got a real deal on something.
No, but the bugs, like the Fans Toys bugs I got for $150, I'm like, I just sold them for $550. She's like, wow, that's cool. And I expect her to be like, oh, that's awesome. She's kind of just like, all right.
Did she ever call
Because she knows you're not going to sell them. So who cares?
Did she ever call you scalper?
No. I would like to know what each of our wives would do if we died suddenly. What they would do with the collection.
I already told Sarah to call Chris and Bobby.
So I had this conversation with Laura one time, and I was shocked at the answer.
I don't remember what I told you, but I'm not sure that I could sell it.
That's what you told me. She said, I'm not sure I could sell any of it. That bothers me on a different level because she would be holding on to it for a sentimental value to me.
I'll just start selling tickets to come see it.
Bobby, everything you buy, it's like you already set a standard for yourself. It has a meaning. It has meaning to you.
Well, I mean, so you too.
Right. I don't want to selling this.
What do you want her to do with it?
Look at each piece and hold it and cry and think about the last time I played with it. What was I thinking?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit up Jisk's wife and be like, look, I'm going to help you sell this. And I'm going to buy one piece. And I'm going to buy that Hydra for $50.
I'm going to mark on the box, do not sell this for less than 50.
Pull-ups.
Potty training your children.
Yeah, the Paw Patrol potty.
Guinea pig.
Basketball.
A bald head with braids around the side.
Oh, come on.
That's what I just said.
I'm booked, I'm busy, I'm sick, I haven't eaten. I'm booked, I'm busy, I'm sick, I haven't eaten.